Hi everyone, LazyFire here, and welcome back to Batman Arkham City. Now, we finished the main quest, and there's a few side missions to do. First off, we're going to do the Bane side missions, followed by the last Deadshot ones, and then we're going to do Zaz, and the Identity Thief, and the Mysterious Stranger stuff. So, quite a bit in this. And first things first, we're going to get the Titan container over in the steel mill. We went right past it before. That was mostly because I forgot to get it when I was doing the commentary. Oops. And that's my fault. So, we're not going to worry about that now. We're just going to go through here, choke out some guys, move on. Now, if you come into this area, and like I did, these guys will have been patrolling for a bit, so they're not going to be in this kind of optimal position to get these guys. And what you want to do is actually die in here, because it makes it a lot easier to do this, and there's no real penalty for death in this game. So, if you just wait for these guys to sort of move around, you'll be able to easily come down here, choke out everybody. Those last two guys, you can use a smoke bomb on them. I end up using the freeze charge, the cluster grenade, as it were, and that works for me. But that's mostly because the smoke bomb is not something I've ever actually used before in terms of a weapon, so I didn't know how that was going to go for me. But with that out of the way, we can come over here and take these two guys. Now, something to note about this cluster grenade is that if you freeze their feet, their torsos still work totally fine, which means if they have a gun, they can still shoot you. They will still spot you as well if their feet are frozen. So, if you try to sneak up on somebody while they have a friend who's frozen looking right at you, he's going to spot you and yell at you. So it's best to just really quickly tap R or something, really, and that way they can't shoot you either. So the cluster grenade has limited use. Let's take care of that Harley statue. You can see there's guys in here. Yes, you can go into most of these areas and there will be enemies to fight. But we're pretty much done with the steel mill for actually the foreseeable future. We do have to come back here one more time for a Zaz thing. But that's not this section. But we are going to go back to the museum now. And this is where Mr. Freeze was. We have a small fight. Now you can see the slide doesn't work on the shield guys, which is unfortunate. I really like the slide. I'm about to get hit like 4 times here, and I just let it happen. I'm not even worried about it. I was just really unable to get my bearings for a moment. I don't know why. And I just decided that I needed to take a second for everything to kind of stop. And I like this move. He just tosses it at somebody else, knocks that guy straight into the air, and then I do a dumb thing. I really should have just taken this guy out when I had the chance. Oh well. It's not a very long fight from here. These guys don't really put up much of a resistance. Just break an arm, and then this guy, I tried to punch him, but oh well. And then we're done. Very easy. There's a Riddler trophy here we couldn't get when we were first here to rescue Mr. Freeze, so we're going to grab that now. I will grab a couple Riddler trophies in this video. It's just because they're there and they're easy to get, not because I'm trying to collect them. And there's something to take a picture of here. The Arkham City stories and the trophies, I haven't really done a lot with that, and that's mostly because I don't have everything, and there are some spoilers there. Let's blow this up and get a monologue.
Now that all the Titan containers are destroyed, I should go back to Bane and see how he's doing.
That's exactly what we're going to go do, actually. So we're going to warp ourselves over to the Crank Toy Factory in a second. First, the Penguin's still here. Let's have a chat with him.
Well, look who's back to see me. What's up, Batman? Did the little bird tell you that Two-Face is back?
I'm surprised he didn't kill you. What did you do? Hide?
Who do you think you're talking to? Oswald Cobblepot doesn't hide from anyone. Understand? He just didn't see me, that's all.
How convenient.
Right. Batman's kind of a dick, kicking a man when he's down and all. Alright, let's warp ourselves over here and go talk to Bane, who has done his part in this whole effort. Theoretically. He really hasn't moved, and you could have come back here any time to have a chat with him, but now that we're done...
I've destroyed the containers, Bane.
Good. Give us the Titan, Bane. Help me, Batman. We must not allow these puppets to take the Titan.
So, this is one of the more annoying fights in the game. There's a very easy reason why it ranks up there, and that is Bane. Bane is on your side in this fight, which is new. We have not had an ally in a fight in this entire game. But Bane is as much a hindrance as he is anything else. You see, Bane will, and does, multiple times in this video, nail you with punches, kicks, charges, shockwaves, anything you can think of. And you can't just ignore him and get away from him, because he's completely independent. He will come over to where you are multiple times. He'll charge at you, trying to hit the guys you're fighting, all this other stuff. Like right there. And so it's not really great. And if you try to get further away, these guys may be congregated around him. Not really good for you either. But you can see he doesn't really do any damage to you. He doesn't really do a ton of damage to these guys either. I'm, for the most part, going to be taking out all these guys. But he fights just like a Titan thug would. So, you know, if you know how to avoid that, you're okay. You can hit him as well, and you will see me end up hitting him with a shock charge in a moment. And right here, actually. You can see it stuns him a little bit. Not quite as much as it does these guys. And I just like the animation that guy had from his hand being hurt from punching Bane in the leg. That's pretty great. But we're done with this fight.
As I was saying, I've destroyed mine. I take it you've done the same?
In a manner of speaking, yes. Titan is too powerful to be used against me. I needed it all for myself. Now, do me a favor and die! Ah! No!
I knew I couldn't trust you, Bane, so I used you instead.
What?
Simple. You rounded up the remaining Titan. Now, I can destroy it.
Stop!
Okay, so remember in 1997 in GoldenEye where you could just toss mines on opposing tanks and blow them all up at once? Can't do that in well, this is 2011, I was about to say 2013. So yes, you have to blow these up individually. I believe you could actually put something on the ground and possibly get it, but I've had shit luck with that in the past, so we're not going to try it, we're just going to do it normally. And then we're going to go have a chat with Bane. I really, in hindsight, should have cut some of this, because it's not really exciting. And it's just a lot of dead space that I have to talk about. Alright. But that's it. Done with Bane stuff. Let's go have a chat with him real quick.
I warned you, Bane.
Free me!
No. You'll get out. Eventually. I'm too busy to keep fighting you.
No!
Yeah, that was the Bane fight. A lot better than it was in Arkham Asylum. Let's grab this Riddler trophy that we kind of left alone in the first time we were here. And we're actually going to start off on Mysterious Stranger Thing and Deadshot about at the same time. Now, I actually did Deadshot first in all of this, so I had to cut back to this. And here we are.
Hasn't he got better things to do than just leave green question marks all over Arkham City?
Alright, we haven't seen our mysterious friend in a while. Let's go have a quick chat with him. I'm sure he has some interesting advice or statements.
We have been watching you for a long time, Batman.
Just made another symbol and disappeared. We actually only have one more after this. And we only have one more Deadshot victim as well. So, we're pretty close on that. Now, we don't really know what the symbols are going to mean yet, but we're getting there. And while I'm here, I figure I'll just grab
Walls
this
are coming
real quick.
down, and the rest of Gotham's gonna bleed.
And the guys down on the ground don't have too much new to say, mostly stuff about the Joker being dead. So there's not a lot of worry about the mook chatter right now. But let's go over to near the Deadshot victim.
Batman, I've detected the distinctive sound of Deadshot's sniper rifle firing again inside Arkham City. I've triangulated the bullet impact sound to this location.
I'm sorry, that was weird. That shouldn't have cut like that. We're right near the Deadshot victim. And we're just gonna do a quick fly. It's not too far from here, and you just go around these guys on their roof and you're fine. I'm really wondering what happened there.
Trying to get away. You can't run. I'll find you.
Yes.
I'm not. Please, I did what you said. I tried. I couldn't find any food.
Well, you're gonna have to try harder, aren't you? How about I break a few bones to remind you what's waiting if you fail me again?
No, I'll do it. You don't need to hurt me again.
I know. It's just, I like hurting people like you, so I'm gonna. Buckle up.
So, yes. This guy...
Oh, man. He was here when I got here. Someone knew who he was. How do you know? There are dead people all over this hellhole. This was an execution. One bullet to the head. Perfect shot. Really? What's so special about this guy? The only thing I know is that whoever killed him will be long gone. People who do hits like this don't hang around to get caught. We should stay here. It's the safest place.
Oh, how wrong you are. That's right. The Deadshot victim is actually over here behind that car. It takes me a little while to realize that because of the fight here, and I can't quite see him. But we just have to do a quick little battle. There's not a ton to it. And then I fucked up trying to break somebody's bones there. And suplex. Still love that move. That's still one of my favorite fighting moves in this game. And I'm trying to counter the Riddler guy before he even got there, which is a dumb idea. Alright, got a knife guy. Get rid of the knife. And we're gonna break this, so one less thing for them to use against me. And we're... yeah, I mean, it's a normal fight. I took a bad swing there trying to hit the Riddler guy again. And a quick knockout. That was actually a knife-breaking combo, so there's no more knife. Which is great news for me. I will actually end up buying the knife dodge pretty soon. And I end up using it pretty effectively in the DLC, which I have already recorded by the time of this audio. I'm just trying to finish this fight. There we go.
I know you're lying.
I'm not. Please, don't hurt me. I'll talk.
Good night.
Batman's still a jerk. So yes, I take a few moments to realize exactly where this guy is. Now, in those few moments, I do something kind of interesting. I get just far enough over where somebody got intrigued by me. And, yeah, I solve a riddle. But I get over just far enough to attract some attention. They don't get over all the way until I do something else.
Third victim. It looks like he was hiding behind this car when he was killed. How did Deadshot do it?
Alright, just have to find the bullet hole.
I think I found the link that connects Deadshot's victims.
Good. He's killed again. We need to stop him.
The first two both worked for Strange. The first victim was a specialist in wireless broadcast technology. He worked on the tower communication system.
And the other one?
I can't find any information about what he worked on, which is suspicious enough if you ask me. But he was previously contracted on military projects, specializing in advanced weapon delivery systems.
Deadshot's clearing up Strange's mess. I'll track this shot to see if he left anything I can use to find him. Good work, Barb.
So doing some of this stuff after the game's over is... sometimes it doesn't make any sense. Now, you see right here, there are two guys that came running. But there was a third guy that ran over earlier when I was over there. He stepped a little too far out of his realm, and so went right back. Ass punch that guy down, break this arm. Then that's the third guy that ran off into the distance after I wasn't where he thought I was. But interestingly enough, there's a fourth guy. Wait for it. Now. Yeah, I basically scanned the thing, and then this guy popped into existence. So, yeah, I kind of screwed myself by not clearing the area a little bit more thoroughly, but...
That's how he did it. Deadshot ricocheted his shot off this shutter.
Right. So, all we have to do is not get caught here. I keep forgetting this roof is patrolled by 3 armed guys, where we've had that issue before. This is the roof where the guy glitched out and I could hit him with no physics reaction.
This sucks worse than any prison.
But we're just gonna go right to the area where Deadshot shot from here. You just follow the line. Maybe difficult to see on YouTube, I'm not sure. But I always fall for this, and I always go a little bit too far, thinking that's where it came from. It's not always the case, and I have to go back over here real quick.
To make the shot, Deadshot would have been lying down. His body heat melted the snow there.
Alright, scan this in.
We've got him, Oracle. I've isolated a number of very distinctive plastic-based particles and identified items that use this material in their construction.
So I see. Looking at the possible choices, I assume you've decided on the power substations, right?
Exactly. Cross-referencing this against locations that would definitely contain the metallic particles from the second crime scene gives us...
3 locations. You've done it. You're actually gonna catch the son of a bitch.
I've marked the map. I'll let you know what happens.
Okay, so note about this.
The only way I'm going to find Deadshot is to check out each of the locations that match his forensic profile.
So these 3 locations, you have the museum over here, you have the building near the GCPD, and you have something over in the steel mill area. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go up here near the GCPD first, then pop over to the steel mill. Now this is actually where it is.
There's an electrical substation in this area. It could be the one Deadshot used.
So yes, this is the one where it is, but I don't find it immediately. There's 3 in each area.
This wasn't the substation Deadshot's been using.
So I just traveled to the next one, not realizing there were 2 more there.
Never thought I'd see this day.
And because of that, I
This
have
area
some interesting
contains one of the
experiences.
electrical substations that are linked to Deadshot. I should investigate further.
This is the only one where there's actually armed guards on it, so just be careful. And this is actually before I did the Bane stuff. I actually came in here and did the Bane stuff immediately after checking these things. So the guys down there had time to move, and that's why I died on purpose. So, let's open this up.
This wasn't the substation Deadshot's been using.
And none of the ones here are the ones he's been using. So we have to go over to the museum. So, that's what we do.
There's an electrical substation nearby. I should search for it and see if it's the one Deadshot used.
Right, just the same as always. Pop this open. Now you'll notice that the game starts saving
This wasn't the
when you
substation
get
Deadshot's been using.
And there's a couple of substations on this roof. We open all of these because I was sure that it
There's
was
the
here.
substation.
I was actually misremembering because this is the area you have to come back to fight Deadshot. I think it's always in the same substation, which is actually back in the first location we went to, like I said.
This
And
could be the substation I'm looking
you'll
for.
see why it's a little messed up in a moment. It's the first time I've encountered a bug in this game, especially a bug
This
with this
one's
particular
empty.
mission.
Deadshot was never here.
So let's warp ourselves back over to the first station in a moment. It's interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. Let's show off where we have to go. It's not very far, if you want to think about it. And the other one near the Joker's steel mill is actually still showing because I didn't open all the chests there. This is the substation up here on top. And something weird happens here. I'm not sure why, but watch this. Huh.
Deadshot was here. He was using this substation to store his equipment and... a PDA. It's heavily encrypted. I'll need to bypass the security if I'm going to find out any more about Deadshot and what he's doing here.
So yes, you can't actually get near the PDA that's in there. It doesn't register. You can't get near it. You can't rip that door back off. And if you go to the one just below this on the stairs, there's a third one down here. If you open that up, that one there, it actually does the same thing. It's just a door. There's a door underneath the door. What I actually had to do was restart the game. Just go to the main menu actually and come back. It's not a huge hassle. It loads pretty quickly. But as you can see, Batman can't get the right cryptography stuff here. So, what the hell are you supposed to do? Now, I was worried about losing progress, but it saves when you open these, so I was in a good spot. Let's do this now. And it's not a difficult thing. Just, the shot thing is right, I just didn't realize it at first. Yeah.
This PDA was definitely given to Deadshot by Hugo Strange. It looks like he was smuggled into Arkham in order to take out a specific list of threats to Strange's position. Let's see. Deadshot only has 3 targets left. Jack Ryder, Bruce Wayne, and Batman.
Damn! He's working to a schedule. Ryder's his next hit. He's marked his current location. He's going to kill him in 3 minutes if I don't get to him in time.
Alright. Well, this is a quick little run over to Jack Ryder. The Deadshot mission is not really that difficult. It's kind of neat, I thought, just doing the forensic scans, because you don't get a lot of those in the game itself. And if you played Arkham Asylum, you know that the forensic stuff was actually how you got from mission to mission in a lot of cases. It was track this, go here, you know, scan this crime scene and all that stuff. In this game, it's kind of regulated to the Deadshot stuff, which I can't say is a bad thing.
Survived this little encounter
And
back in the asylum.
I just really like the dive bomb all of a sudden. I realize how useful it is in terms of keeping your flight going, because Batman will just tilt down as hard as he can sometimes, no matter what I do. So keeping the flight going and keeping it fast is actually pretty fun. And I got here in record time, just not even a full minute passed. All you have to do is get down there. You don't have to fight anyone to get to it.
See these weird question marks all over.
Let's just...
If I don't find Jack Ryder in 2 minutes, Deadshot will kill him.
Yes, we know Batman. Oops. I don't know why that happened. I didn't mean to do this, but I end up just going, I don't really want to deal with the shotgun guy if I have to get out of here. Let's choke him out, then go save Jack Ryder. I've got so much time, it's not even funny. Real quick.
You made me miss my target, Batman! I never miss!
Deadshot is not a hard person to fight. If you know how to keep out of the sniper scopes, you're pretty set. All you have to do is wait for him to turn, go to your next piece of cover, maybe get a couple pieces of cover over. That got a little close.
Why are you hiding? It's because you're dead already?
So, and then just get underneath him and take him out like you would anyone standing on a grate. Yeah, that was weird. Criminally underused, in my opinion, but still a fun set of missions. If you don't know what you're doing there, you can really get fucked up by Deadshot. He will kill you fast.
Did you find Deadshot?
He's not a problem anymore. I'll let Gordon know where he is and come back for him later.
Alright, and we have a level up. I actually decided to put a little bit into a few different things in the post-game. One of them is the Blade Dodge Takedown, which I will use. If not this video, then you'll see it in the DLC. I think I cut out pretty much all the fights in this video, so if that's what you're here for, I'm sorry. But next, we do have a few things to handle. First, we're going to go finish off the Mysterious Stranger stuff. Let's have a talk.
The moment is close. The truth will soon be shown.
Okay. We scan this in, and we get a new sequence. We can go back to the map in a moment. You'll see.
The 4 symbols create a master sigil that looks like it fits over the map of Arkham City.
And it does. Now, I completely forgot that you can zoom this, so I spent a long time trying to figure out what was wrong. So all you have to do is expand it, and then move these things so they line up correctly. And it's not finicky, it'll snap into place if you hit it. Just give it a moment. There it is.
The symbols have marked a point on the map of Arkham City.
And you just have to go to the church. I'm trying to set it as the waypoint there. There we go. We're right near the church now. Let's scan this last symbol in.
I knew you would find me.
It wasn't hard. You left me a map. Who are you and what do you want? Why are you watching me?
We have been given many names, but you will come to know me as Azrael, loyal servant to the Order of Saint Dumas.
Just what I need. Another secret society.
I bring a message. Dark days are coming, Batman. The prophecy is coming true. You are the warrior who will close the gates of hell. You are the one who will save this day. And in doing so, events will occur that you cannot stop. From the ashes of Arkham, the fires will rage and Gotham will burn. And you will burn too.
I don't believe in fairy tales.
Believe what you will. The message has been delivered. We will meet again.
Right. I'm sure people who have read the Nightfall series of books will be able to tell you why that is such a weird thing. But also, that's a sequel hook for whatever Rocksteady's supposed to be doing next. Hey,
Please don't.
we're gonna do the Zaz
I
stuff.
only just got Riddler's last informant's blood off my face.
Oh God,
That's a good line from
I'll tell you everything.
That's what I wanted to hear.
But we just beat some guys up at the museum. This phone was actually ringing during the Catwoman post-game stuff, but I couldn't
There's a
pick it up.
phone ringing somewhere. Get ready to run.
Alright. This is actually a phone we've answered in the past, so we just have to go to the exact same space it was the last time. Which means that we're going back to where we rescued Vicky Vale. Not a long flight, but they only get a minute and a half to do it, which, you'll see it's not really difficult to do so, but it is a little bit more difficult than, say, some of the other ones, because the areas you go through are not quite as tall as they could be, let's say, which makes it a little difficult to reliably get the boost you need to go forward. But luckily you have water towers and such, and gargoyles that keep you going. And of course my dive bombing is helping me get a little further. But right about here is where I go, oh, there's too much open space here, I might not make it. Luckily, that Batclaw has a ridiculous amount of range to it. Let's dive bomb our way around. And this is actually probably the spot that got me in the most trouble, is because I tried to go around this thing instead of over it. But, like I said, it's not far away. Not far away at all. I've got 40 seconds to go, which is maybe a little better than the last time I had to come out here. And, yeah, we're actually at the GCPD. No problem at all. Let's answer this phone.
Can you imagine the vagrant's surprise when I grabbed his knife from his hands? It was instinctive. It was beautiful. In one movement, I sliced out his throat and gave him the gift of salvation. It happened so fast, but I felt every joyous sensation. The blood sprayed over my face, and I saw what little life was left in his eyes leave. But then it was over. I felt lost. Like it had been meaningless. That no one would acknowledge my sacrifice. And then it happened. Without realizing what I was doing, I plunged the knife into my forearm and cut deep. It was incredible. I felt my body elevate to a higher place. It had become a temple to my work.
So, we have Zaz's location. We are going to basically just go there now and figure this all out. He does have a bit of a room to go through. So, let's be on our way, shall we? And here we are. It's right near the steel mill, like I said. And this room is not overly difficult, but it is something a little different. The water levels in the room and in the next room are going to rise and fall as you go. So, if you're not careful, you'll end up... Yeah, I'm trying to use the back claw quick mode to do this, but it doesn't work. So, there's a few things you can do to kind of escape that, but for the most part, I'm just going to do it the dumbest way possible because it just launches you to the last spot you're in. And here I try to hack this thing without realizing it's an electrical panel first, and I have to get through this room to actually use it, so I just look like an idiot there. That's fine. No one cares anymore, right? So, you just crawl in here, and Zaz is going to start talking.
Oh, this is a glorious day for you to die on. Your life is over. Accept it and prepare yourselves to sink into the oblivion of nothing. You're probably praying I will end your lives quickly. I won't.
Yeah, it's me being dumb right there. I didn't mean to do that.
Your entire lives have been accelerating to this point.
Alright, this one you have to slide under.
I will carve your life on my arm.
Yes, you have to slide and time it. So the time's right now. Just drop off and...
You I will gut like a fish. This is all fun, isn't it, Peggies? I'm enjoying myself so much. I nearly forgot to give Batman another call. Come on, Batman. Don't tell me you can't hear the phone. It's making me angry. This is not over. It cannot be over. My blade will bathe in the crimson rivers of blood that will pour from the holes I cut into your body. You cannot deny me the mark. I need to make the mark. It's all I have left.
That's another side quest done. Let's talk to these prisoners here, though. Yeah, I'm just taking a look around. There is one thing over here. This has actually helped us get that Riddler trophy we basically dropped in on. Alright. Well, I don't even worry about that trophy. Let's talk to these guys.
That psycho looked into my eyes and told me what he was gonna do to me. I've never been so scared.
He's locked up now. You'll be safe here.
Alright, one other guy.
I owe you, Batman. This maniac was talking like he was gonna cut us up.
He was. You'll be safe here for now. He's not going anywhere.
And with that, we're done with the Zaz side quest. We only really have one major side quest left and a Riddler room, which I will show off. But I'm not going to really go get the Riddler trophies, as I mentioned before. So, let's go start on our other side quest after we take a look at this stuff. There's a lot of things we missed here, and we're just going to play this stuff here.
You have one missed call.
Hey, been missing you. Get back to me. Laters.
You have one missed call.
Hello? I'm not sure that you got my call earlier. I'm just dying to speak to you. Call me, Bats.
You have one missed call.
Bats? Seriously? You're making me paranoid. Why aren't you answering my calls? You haven't gone and died on me, have you?
You have one missed call.
Look, I know you're not dead. I'm missing a group of my guys down under the tower. Guess that means you know about the guns already. Okay, I admit it, they're mine. Strange gives them to me, okay? Can we be BFFs again?
You have one missed call.
Maybe it wasn't you that took out my guys. All right, then. The message I left before, the one I left about the guns, you can ignore it. Just delete it.
You have 1 missed call.
Right. This is getting ridiculous. I've been leaving messages all night and you still haven't got back to me. Who do I need to kill to make you pick up?
You have 1 missed call.
At last? Hey, Bats. Where you been? I was just calling to find out how you're feeling. Are you getting the hallucinations yet? I know. It's hard to tell these days. You just never can tell if it's Scarecrow again, that little guy with the hat, my blood running through your veins, or if after all this time you really are actually going crazy.
You have 1 missed call.
Hey, Babs, are you okay? I'm sorry I had Harley steal your cure. You were so busy with Freeze that she didn't even have time to ask. But don't worry, as soon as that little minx is back here and I've had my share, I'll save some for you. You'll have to work for it, but it will be right here waiting for you. You probably won't believe this, but I don't really think I can sit back and watch you die. It's selfish, really, but we need each other. Life would be so boring without you. Who would I talk to? Who would really understand me?
Patient interview 1. Subject's name, Jervis Tetch, a.k.a. the Mad Hatter. Brought to Arkham Asylum by the Batman 6 months ago. Patient exhibits signs of obsessive compulsion and paranoid schizophrenia. Sit down, Mr. Tetch.
But there's no time to sit. I need Alice. Where is my Alice?
Please.
No time to sit, not time to chat. I'm searching for Alice and I've lost my head.
Guard, restrain Mr. Tetch.
Get off me. Get off me. I'm late. I'm running out of time, Alice. Where are you?
Alice isn't here yet. Just relax, Jervis. She will be here soon. I promise.
But
now, would you like some tea, patient?
Is Alice here yet?
No, I'm afraid not. Let us talk while we wait. You and I have much in common, Jervis.
Really? Do you know Alice too?
Unfortunately not. You and I both share an interest in the mind, do we not? I studied your papers, Jervis. You are quite brilliant. Truly an extraordinary mind.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's all just chemicals and synapses and rabbits and... Oh, where is Alice?
You need to focus. Think about your work for a minute. You theorize that there is no such thing as free will, that you can change a man's allegiances, his motives, emotions, all of what we believe makes a man with chemicals. Your formula was really quite brilliant. That's why I used it.
Well, how did you get it? Did Alice give it to you? Wicked girl. Nasty little thing. Is she here yet?
Soon, Jervis, soon.
Is she? Oh, you told me that Alice would be here.
She is, Jervis. She's right here.
Alice? Alice, come out. Don't pout. Don't make me shout. Alice, come out. Where are you?
Take a look at the pictures, Jervis.
Oh, who are these people?
Look again.
Oh, I don't know who they are. Oh, please, is Alice here or not?
Look at the first picture. Look at the dress she is wearing. Look at the hair. It's Alice, isn't it?
No. It can't be Alice. Alice has nice yellow hair and isn't covered in blood.
I think you know exactly who this is, Mr. Tetch. I think you remember the night you lured Stephanie Williams back to your research lab. How you offered her tea. What happened then?
No.
You killed her, didn't you?
No.
She went first. It's okay, Jervis. It's all right to remember. How many Alices were there?
I can't remember. Oh, Alice isn't coming, is she?
That all depends on how you cooperate. I have a little side project that I'm working on. I could use your help.
My help? I can't help. I'll be late.
Stay focused, Jervis. This facility is old, tired, full of ghosts.
Ghosts?
A figure of speech. Do not worry. Arkham Asylum will not exist forever. Its techniques are old, its mission outdated. I intend to create a new Arkham, an Arkham that will rise phoenix-like from the ashes of this one.
Is there a fire? We should get out of here.
I have arranged for some documents to be left in your cell. They outline a technique I propose to control the mind of, shall we just say, weaker souls.
I cannot do it without rabbits. I need rabbits for my research, and tea, and...
And Alice, I know. I have arranged for a number of test subjects to be at your disposal. They have been here at Arkham for so many years that no one will miss them. Shall we meet again next week? Oh, and I took the liberty of having your hats returned. I assume that will provide all the encouragement you require. Well done, well done. I must say you have outperformed even my wildest expectations.
Yes. Did you see the people at my tea party? They all behaved themselves.
Yes, they did, Jervis. I'm very pleased. I have just one last request to make of you. You must keep it a secret. Can you keep a secret, Jervis?
With enough hats, I can stop people remembering secrets. Does that count?
It will have to. I need you to pay a visit to Warden Sharp. He needs to come around to my way of thinking.
To join our tea party?
Exactly.
I don't want to.
Of course you do. How else will you get to play with Alice?
What?
I have a new assistant for you, Jervis. I had her brought in specially. Look at her. She's just through there.
Oh, it's Alice. She's here. No, what are you doing? I need to see her.
And you can. As soon as you do what I asked.
Can I keep her?
Of course, she'll be all yours. She's Alice.
Alright, with that, we're actually going to start on the identity thief stuff now.
Looks like another victim of the identity thief. I need to scan the area to see if there are any more clues to his identity and whereabouts.
And like I said before, we've switched costumes. This is a different video.
The MO is the same as for the previous victim. First, the killer paralyzes the vocal cords, and then removes the face before bandaging up the head. It's definitely him, and it looks like he's stepping up his attacks. A crime with this level of precision requires weeks of premeditation. These aren't just random attacks.
Oh, worth noting here, and I'll mention it after this, actually.
I've reconstructed a clean set of fingerprints, but there's no match to anything in the Gotham criminal databases. I'm uploading the prints to you now. Check these against every record in the country.
Batman, I found a match for the print, but there must be a mistake. This can't be correct.
Who do the prints belong to?
You. These are Bruce Wayne's fingerprints. How's that possible?
I have no idea.
Alright, Oracle's going to mention something else before we leave.
I don't know how to say this, but
What's wrong, Barbara?
I've been thinking about the identity theft case. Don't get angry. But how can you actually be sure that it wasn't you who killed those people? I mean, they were your fingerprints at the scene.
What did you say?
Not intentionally, but clearly you're not well. That place is full of maniacs who could take advantage of a situation like that. Think about it. What if Crane got to you again? You know Strange's reputation. Maybe he planted the idea back when you met him. I don't like it, but...
It wasn't me. I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. Well, you know.
Alright, the thing about the identity thief is that they don't actually show you where these are. You have to
Another
find them.
victim. Sooner or later, the killer will slip up. Let's hope it's this time. As with the others, the victim's face was removed pre-mortem with surgical precision. The care taken suggests the killer is more concerned with the parts he's taking than what he leaves behind. Someone has taken a lot of care to cover their tracks. They used bleach to destroy any forensic evidence at the crime scene. Sometimes the lack of evidence is all you need. I'll filter for particles of the bleach and see who was so determined to cover their tracks.
Alright, so yes, the issue with the identity thief stuff is that it's not actually showing up on your minimap. They don't give you hints. You have to go find the stuff on your own, which can take a while because you have to basically check these alleys over near the Ace Chemical Factory. And that's kind of where everything takes place. Oh look, fight. There's not really much avoiding this fight if you want to get forward, so I figure, hey, why not? This is actually a chance to show off the reversal on the knife stuff, which is exactly why I left this in now that I remember it. I'm really relying on those arm breakers a lot these days. And that probably is why you'll see me get like a 50 combo on this fight, maybe. I could probably get them higher. Now the fun thing about the blade dodge takedown when I get it done is that it will immediately knock the person out, which means that it's really fucking useful when you've got a bunch of people with knives coming at you. And right here, fight's basically over. These guys don't have a chance. Yep, just punching people out one shot at a time. 2-1 combo, not bad. So yes, you have to find those bodies on your own, and they only appear after certain missions, which is why Barbara was kind of weird there. Also, I'm wearing the Sinestro Batman costume, so that's different. And this guy's here. Let's have a chat.
You killed that man and dumped his body back there. Why did you take his face?
It wasn't me. I just dumped the body. He told me to use bleach to clean it up.
Who told you?
Wayne, you know, the rich guy.
You're lying to me.
I'm not. There's an alley near the courtroom. That's where he is. He's crazy, man. You don't want to go in there.
Alright, you heard him. There's an alley near the courtroom. It's right near Catwoman's apartment, actually. So we've been past that area a couple times, but the door doesn't really open until then. And I was just trying to get my bearings there. I'm sorry, that's still in there. So here we are. There's a guy who's going to come running in a second, which is kind of hilarious. Yeah, I knocked out his friend. Oops. So, let's get in here and finish with this mission. Just real quick, making sure I'm not going to get ambushed, because I don't remember this super well. But there's a lot of surgical equipment in here.
This is the journal of Dr. Thomas Elliot. My work is complete. The pain, though still present, has been worth it. He will suffer for what he did to me. He will suffer the way I have suffered. As I look in the mirror, I understand how Leonardo felt when he finished the Mona Lisa, how Michelangelo felt when David was complete. My work has taken too long, but now it's time for my masterpiece to be unveiled. My new face is ready. I couldn't have put it better myself. I take it you're here to stop me?
What do you think?
I think you're too late.
You're a killer, a psychopath. I will stop you.
Really? But you look just like Bruce Wayne. It took time, of course, to find the perfect donors, to graft on the flesh, and finally to lose myself in order to create this.
6 people died.
Unfortunate, but necessary to complete my plan.
Why?
Would you believe good old-fashioned revenge? To be honest, I don't care if you do. Wayne will suffer, and you will not stop me. I can see you have your hands full with Arkham City, but it's time for me to leave now. Pray we do not meet again. Next time, I will not be in such a generous mood.
That's some interesting voice work by Kevin Conroy there, who does the voice for Batman as well. But we're going to get out of here, unlike what the guy just said. Now that's Hush in the comics. He's same name and everything. I think he actually got his face to look like Bruce Wayne's in the comics as well, but someone could correct me on that. And that's the end of that. You don't chase him down. He apparently just escapes Arkham City now. Batman will actually mention that in a few moments, actually. And then we'll be done with this, and we'll go on to the Riddler stuff.
Close the file on the identity thief, Oracle.
Have you caught him?
No. Prepare a new file on Dr. Thomas Elliot. I'm uploading all the details from his surgery.
Elliot? The famous surgeon? Didn't you used to be friends?
We were. A long time ago.
So he was the identity thief? Hang on. This says he used the faces he collected to make a new one that looked like yours. I mean, Bruce Wayne's. Is he crazy? No offense. Are you going after him?
He's gone. He's left Arkham City. I'll hunt him down tomorrow.
I don't understand how the fingerprints worked. I just do not. But we're done with that. We can go do the final Riddler challenge that we have left. Of course, I could grab more trophies, but that seems like a really bad idea. So, we'll just go through here. It's just like the other Riddler rooms. You just open this up, and, hey, there's a door. And the Riddler is going to have some words for us.
Roll up, roll up! It's time for my latest game!
So, there's a bit of a shell game. Actually, that's exactly what this is, but it's got an interesting twist, and we're going to fail it once on purpose.
Help me! All you need to do is keep your eyes on the prize.
So, yes. Now, if you watch
Keep your eyes open, Dark Knight.
Yes. If you watch this, you think you're right almost every time, because it's not super hard.
Your pick, Batman.
I think it's the middle one. I don't see anything wrong here. Can't use my senses to see it, but...
Shall we see if you were right?
Wait for it. Uh-oh.
And the winner is... me!
No, please, help! Ah! No! You picked wrong, Dark Knight.
Now that hint there is kind of what you need to know to figure this all out. What happens here is that the Riddler will not simply let this guy get moved around. He's going to do something kind of dickish. So you can watch this all you want, it doesn't matter. You have to remember to use your detective vision. And here he is. Yes, the Riddler actually puts him under there and then puts him into the one he wants.
Shall we see if you were right? What? No. How did you do that?
Batman, over here! Get me out of this thing!
And we're done here. Not a very difficult trick, but still interesting.
You're safe now, Officer North.
Thank you. I thought I was gonna die back there.
Riddler gave you a code, right?
Yeah, it's 860120. He said something about it helping you.
It will. Stay here.
Alright, so just have to do this as well, and then we're kind of done. And it's not too hard to get to the right areas, but if you're me, it might be. Because I realized about here that I was doing this wrong.
All available.
And we're just gonna get a taunt. So, not a big deal.
Is someone trying to locate a hostage before they found enough of my secrets? I hope not.
Alright.
There's no way you could have solved that one, Batman. Even I couldn't. You must have cheated. Consider this a warning. From here on in, it gets harder.
Alright, everyone, that's pretty much it here. We're
Remember the code.
Challenges
It's 860120.
So, there's challenge rooms to do, if I haven't done them already, and DLC to show off. But that's pretty much it. I just want to thank everyone for watching this stuff, and maybe next time we'll do something